Stanton drills it deep left field and upper tank.
That ball's driven deep to right center field. Gone. 2-run home run. Carlos Correa.
Oh, wow! Paul Goldschmidt, a grand slam.
Charlie Blackmon has done it again.
High and deep to right center field. Renfroe running back to the track. Jumps, can't get it.
Another 2-2. And Trout drives one out to deep left field. Oh my, that is long gone.
Swung on, hit a ton. Deep left field. This ball gone to the home run porch.
There you go, deep right and gone. Harper, see you way later.
Hey everyone, welcome to 1225 Live. My name is Alexa Datt. It is Trivia Wednesday, and happy Trivia Wednesday. To celebrate, we are going to have Scott Rogowsky, the host of HQ Trivia, play a little trivia game with us here. We're going to test his baseball knowledge, Quizzy McGuire, and see if he is up to snuff with the rest of us here at MLB.com. By the way, that's going to happen in a little bit, and if you want to play along and test your knowledge as well, you can do that. We're also going to have Richard Justice join us in just a bit to talk about the Hall of Fame ballot, which will be released later today. All right, we start the show, though, the way that we do every day, and that is with Danny Wexman, our social savant. What's going on, Danny? How you feeling?
All right, Lex, I know you are about to get quizzical with
Yeah.
Scott. So I have
I'm a little nervous, Danny.
I know. I have a couple of things for you. Number one, I have some Wednesday wisdom. Yogi Berra said it best. It ain't over till it's over.
Okay.
That's number one. Number two, Jamal Collier, our friend, tweeted out that Nats spring training games will begin in 1 month. In 1 month, we'll be seeing those Nats on the field.
So I only have to hang out for 1 month longer.
Just 1 month.
Yeah, and then I can get my baseball back.
And it's National Compliment Day, so I want to compliment you. You are my smartest, prettiest, coolest friend that I have.
You're only saying that to butter me up because I'm about to lose badly in a trivia
I'm just
game.
trying to get you ready and pumped up. That's all.
All right, so I'm really excited for this trivia game, by the way, with Scott Rogowsky. And anyone who wants to play along, please come join us because I want to know how well you can do at this trivia game. That's going to be a lot of fun. All right, so MLB Pipeline throughout the week has been putting out lists of top 10 prospects at every position. We're going to play off that a little bit. We have been doing it all week. We've been talking about pitchers. We did lefties and righties already this week. Now we're going to turn to closers and who we believe is the best closer in the game right now. Danny, I'm going to start us off, and I believe it's Craig Kimbrell. And I think it's Craig Kimbrell because not only is he one of the most dominant closers right now in the game, he's a 6-time All-Star, and he finished top 10 in Cy Young voting in 5 of the 8 seasons that he has been in the league. Going into the 2017 season, just for luck, he decided to change up his walk-up song from fan favorite Welcome to the Jungle, as we all remember, to Stranglehold, and it worked. He put up 35 saves, a 1.43 ERA, a whip under 1. He's like a video game character, and he absolutely crushes it there for the Boston Red Sox, helping them win the division year after year. So Craig Kimbrell, I believe, is the best closer in the game right now.
That's a great choice. Hard to top. The guy I'm going with, I'm going to omit his World Series performance. I know it's important, but I'm going to omit those numbers for our case today.
Okay.
Kenley Jansen. Did you know his middle name is Geronimo? So it's ironic because he's throwing things very fast at high speed, moving quickly. Listen, his cutter clocks in at an average velocity of 93.8. And the key for a guy who's throwing this fast is location, right? And that's exactly what he does best in the regular season. He saved 41 out of 42 opportunities, striking out a cool 109 batters. His wins above replacement rivaled starting pitchers who had way more opportunities to get that number higher. He had way less chances, and he allowed just 5 home runs. And by the way, his name is starting to come up in conversations with Mariano Rivera. So Kenley Jansen, you are the best closer in the game right now.
Yeah, Mariano Rivera, the greatest closer of all time. So pretty elite company for his name to be included in. All right, speaking of one of his teammates, Justin Turner, found something interesting recently on online. And this is pretty funny, Danny, and we were talking about this earlier today. It's just, the whole online dating thing to me is so foreign, and I wish I was part of it and could totally relate, but you and I were kind of talking about what this situation means. So Justin Turner learned that his fans' Tinder profile picture includes him in it.
That's right.
So this is Kevin, who's 39 years old.
Yes.
And his profile was tweeted out by a potential match who said, "Red Turn 2 just spotted you while swiping on Tinder." And then Turner was like, oh, man, props to Kevin for his profile pic. Hopefully you guys can find love, and hopefully, hashtag I get a wedding invite.
I would invite him to my wedding if he was the reason I got a date. We did talk about dating profiles, and so we're wondering, our question of the day today is, who would you guys put in your online dating profile to get a date? Who's the guy who's going to make people turn heads, say hey, whatever it may be, send a wink, smiley face online? So, for example, if I'm in Missouri, I'm definitely going with Ozzie Smith or Yadier Molina. But if I'm in New York, I'm probably going to go with Aaron Judge, right? Because everyone's going to be like, whoa, you met Aaron Judge. I want to go on a date with you, and you're the coolest, prettiest person ever.
Yeah.
Probably not the end part, but the first
No,
part.
I think that
probably,
they would all say
right?
that. That's for sure.
Yes, so we want to know. That's our question.
Yeah, I'm probably going to put Mrs. Met in my Tinder profile picture, only because, listen, if that's the situation where everyone's like digging baseball players, why not go a little bit further, reach for the stars, and go for the best mascot in the game, Mrs. Met?
You're so right. The mascots are the real stars. So if you are not on Facebook, head over now. Let us know. We're going to read those comments at the end of the show, but we have much more exciting things to get to now.
All right. Yeah, sounds good. Danny will check in just a little bit.
Sounds good.
Like I mentioned, we have Scott Rogowsky here in studio. Scott, thank you so much for joining us. Look, you seem so amped up. Are you nervous like I am about the trivia that's coming up?
No, I'm just excited to talk about the Diamondbacks signing of Antonio Bastardo. That's what we're talking about, right?
100%.
100%.
Yes.
That's all I'm prepared to talk about today.
Good. I'm glad.
This is so exciting.
That's what the whole thing is going to be.
Alexa, baseball is my #1 sport.
Great.
And when I got this invitation to appear here, I mean, I'm getting a lot of press invitations, but I said, this has to be the top of the list for me.
Well, we're
such
so
a
happy
thrill.
to have you.
So happy to get my cup of coffee.
Well, and we know that you're a huge Mets fan.
Yeah.
But let's just talk about HQ trivia for a second.
Sure.
Because you kind of, have rose to stardom overnight. This game became an instant success. Did you see that this, was going to become such a big thing? Was this something that you foresaw, or you're just taken aback a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, it was when I first, auditioned for it and I heard about the concept. I mean, it's a live trivia game show you play on your phone. It's an app trivia show, which I never heard of before because it's really the first one.
Yeah. It's
free to download if you want to. If you haven't heard of it yet, go to HQ in the App Store and Google Play. You can download it. And I heard the concept, live show hosted by me, reading trivia. Okay, maybe we'll get a few thousand people playing. Now we have over 1.6 million people playing.
It's incredible.
Every night. It's crazy.
And for a huge cash prize, which is the best part.
Yeah, we give out, now it's $2,500 minimum prize. We've given out as much as $18,000 in one game. Two people split a $12,000 prize. They won $6,000 for a 15-minute investment. It's pretty good. Better than Bitcoin, I think. Yeah.
That's for sure. So you're a huge baseball fan, big Mets fan.
Always.
What's your best memory that you've ever experienced?
Oh, my gosh.
Baseball?
Well, my best memory, probably, you don't have videotape of it. It was when I was chosen to be the bat boy in 1997 spring training for the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Okay.
Shout out Kevin Polkovich, Jacob Brumfield, Midray Cummings. Very nice guys. But as a fan, spectating in the stands for a moment, has to be Johan Santana's no-hitter, 2012 against the Cardinals. I was there, Alexa. I amazingly had tickets. A friend of mine was like, oh, I got tickets. You want to go? Oh, sorry, let me go to the Phillies. I want to see the Phillies. Oh, I can't get the Phillies. All right, fine. I'll take the Cardinals game. Some random Cardinals game. And there it was, history in the making, the first time a Mets pitcher ever threw a no-hitter. Of course, if there was instant replay as it was today, maybe it would have been overturned, but screw that. We were there. I've never been in a place that was going crazy. I mean, look at that. The players were going nuts, obviously, but the stands, it was so loud and just raucous and just everyone's jumping and going crazy. Better than a World Series victory, I think. That was just, 50 years waiting for this.
Yeah.
More? Yeah, it was crazy.
That might come up in our trivia, by the way, so I hope you're ready to talk about that a little bit further during our trivia game.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on the Mets this season? How do you feel? Confident?
I feel, look, one word.
What's that?
Or two words, I guess, because they're names. Ahmed Rosario.
Okay.
This is the guy. I'm putting all my money on Ahmed. We got Dominic Smith, a lot of young guys. Conforto, who I saw him in Double-A, Binghamton, and then I got to see him get called up. And then, of course, you can't leave out Tim Tebow. This is the year for Tebow.
Stop.
He got that invite.
Everyone got hurt last year, and they still didn't bring him up. I don't know if there's a chance this year.
He's coming up, baby. Tebow's coming up this year. Get ready, Flushing. It's happening.
All right. Well, if you are victorious in this trivia game, we might have a little bit of a Mets prize for you. So extra incentive for you to do really well in this game. So you ready for this game?
I'm ready.
All right. So the way that we play 1225 live trivia is we each have 12 questions. Okay. We're going to go back and forth. It doesn't matter if you get it right or wrong. We're going to get the tally at the end, but we want to get through all these questions.
Right.
Because these are really, really fun, and this is how we play the game.
Who goes first?
I go first.
Okay.
You ready?
Yes.
Yeah, we're going to put 10 seconds on the clock for each question. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you are playing along at home.
No Googling.
And you get these right. So you got your cards out?
I got this is like Price Waterhouse Cooper here with this.
Yeah, that's right. Well, we wanted to make sure that no one was spying.
Right,
cheating.
fully audited. Okay.
Okay, here we go. Question 1. Which player is also known as the Great Bambino? Is it Benny the Jet Rodriguez, Babe Ruth, or your favorite, Ahmed Rosario?
Benny Agbayani. No, come on, it's Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth, the Bambino.
Salt and
yeah,
SWAT.
baby. Salt and the SWAT.
Very nicely done.
The Sultan of SWAT.
Okay, your turn.
Oh, we switch? Okay.
Yeah, we're going to switch back and forth.
Which Nationals player won the National League MVP in 2015? Bryce Harper, Jonathan Papelbon, or Peter Rosenberg?
This is Bryce Harper, but I love the reference to my husband being
Yes, your husband was an option there. He's an MVP in your household.
That's right, just not on the baseball diamond.
Not for the Mets.
Question 2. Who set the MLB single-season rookie home run record in 2017? Was it Cody Bellinger, Aaron Judge, or Brandon Nimmo?
Come on, all rise for the Judge.
That's right.
Gotta respect number 99, the new great one.
This guy's got grown men showing up in Judge costumes in the Bronx.
It's crazy. And I saw him at the Arizona Fall League.
Wow.
When he was a minor leaguer.
Okay.
I'm a big minor league guy.
Okay.
Q2.
Yes.
How long was the Indians' historic win streak in 2017? 22 games, 15 games, or 50 games?
Yeah, we talked about this a lot. It was 22 games.
22 games.
Pretty impressive.
Very impressive.
And that starting rotation helped them along. Big
Kluber.
time. Yeah. All right, Q3. Who was the last team to appear in back-to-back World Series? The Royals, the Padres, or the Yankees?
Back-to-back World Series. Well, the Royals, did they? It's the Padres. No, Royals.
Nope. It is the Royals.
Royals.
Yeah, and which is so funny because they played against your Mets.
I know that. Yes, and then they did make it the next. Oh God.
I know.
Bad.
It's gonna kill you.
Bad. That's an early one.
That's what this game is.
How many World Series have the Giants won in the last decade? 1, 3, or 4?
I think it's gonna be 4 this season, but I'm going 3 is the answer.
I wish you were wrong, but you're right. Oh, Alexa! Is there an Alexa here? Can I ask Alexa for the answer? Okay.
Now these are going to start to get a little bit more difficult.
Yeah.
Just like HQ. This is how we play. All right, question 4. Who was the 1969 World Series MVP? Bill Buckner, David Wright, or Don Clendenin?
You're saying these are getting harder? Don Clendenin.
There you go. Nicely done.
The 69 Miracle Mets.
That's right.
Former Pirate Don Clendenin. Okay, Q4. After moving from Montreal, in what year did the Washington Nationals play their inaugural season? 1983, 1999, or 2005?
2005. I was there, baby.
You were probably
Awesome.
there. Zach Day,
Yeah.
opening day starter? Was it
Levon
him?
Hernandez.
Oh, was it Levon Hernandez? Right.
When they moved to
the new ballpark.
Yeah.
Can't forget Zach Day.
Zach Day.
Have yourself a day. All right, you got that one right.
All right, question 5. With whom does Mr. Met have the infamous rivalry? Is it Mrs. Met, Noah Syndergaard, or Matt Harvey?
Matt Harvey.
The infamous rivalry between Mr. Met
I mean,
and
Mrs.
Noah
Met?
Syndergaard? You haven't heard about this?
No.
Oh, man, we need to get you all caught up. It's
I
crazy.
don't follow the mascots.
They're our favorite. We only follow the mascots. The players come second.
I have a rivalry with Matt Harvey.
There you go.
I'm not happy with Matt Harvey. Parties too much. Q5. How many home runs were hit in Game 5 of the 2017 World Series? 7, 10, or 12?
This was 7. We talked about this.
Yeah, well, you talk about this
back to
every
back.
day. Of course
I
you're going
know.
to get this stuff
I know.
right.
It's
7 home runs. All right, this is stacked against me.
That's how they did it. All right,
Protesting.
Q6.
I'm playing this game to protest.
Who was the starting pitcher for the Mets' Game 7 World Series clincher in 1986? Was it Ron Darling, Dwight Gooden, or Dave Cone?
It's Ron Darling.
It was Ron Darling. There you go.
Bulldogs, bow, wow.
Broadcast
Eli
impressive
Yale.
line.
That's right.
fan.
Q6. Which of these Cy Young winners has not won an MVP award? Pedro Martinez, Clayton Kershaw, or Justin Verlander?
Ooh.
Not won an MVP.
Clayton Kershaw?
Clayton Kershaw has won. I believe multiple? Can someone confirm? He's won at least
Pedro,
one.
then.
It's Pedro.
Justin won.
You got your
Damn.
first wrong answer here.
Damn.
5 for 6. You're still batting, what, over 800? You're still doing pretty well.
All right, Q7. Who was the last MLB player to win back-to-back MVP awards? Miguel Cabrera, Mike Trout, or Juan Lagares?
Mike Trout. No.
Nope.
Miggy?
Miguel Cabrera.
Come on.
I know. You would think it was Mike Trout.
It's definitely not Juan Lagares.
Yeah. That's for sure.
Thank you for making at least 50. I can't get the 50-50 ones right. For which of these teams, this is Q7, for which of these teams has Bartolo Colon not played?
Oh, my gosh.
The Royals, the Red Sox, or the White Sox?
Does Bartolo Colon play for the Red Sox? I'm going to say Red Sox.
Bartholomew Colon has played for the Red Sox and the White Sox, but the Royals getting me and getting you now.
Unbelievable.
It was the Royals.
Never played for the Royals. All right. There's still time. Don't worry about it. Yeah. He's 44.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
He's going to make a comeback this year. Q8. How many batting titles did Jose Reyes win with the Mets? 0, 1, or 3?
1.
Ding, ding, ding. You are correct. Absolutely. A big season for Jose Reyes.
Yeah.
He was able to pull
Silver
that off.
Slugger. Q8, which president has not appeared in the Nationals president's race?
Ooh.
Theodore Roosevelt, Franklin D. Roosevelt, or Herbert Hoover?
Herbert Hoover?
Yeah, no. FDR. FDR. We got a new deal for Alexa, and you're getting all the questions wrong. That's the new deal.
I'm getting crushed.
Catching up now. Catching up.
Q9. Yeah, we're pulling even here. Which current MLB manager managed Michael Jordan in the minors? Bruce Bochy, Terry Collins, or Terry Francona?
Wait, so you're saying current MLB manager?
Yep.
So I'm going to say Francona.
You are correct. Wow, you pulled that out.
Because Collins
Last
is
minute
looking for
there.
a job right now.
That is 100% true, unfortunately. I like
Birmingham
these guys.
Barons, 1995.
Look at you. See, he knows his baseball.
I know my baseball. Number 45, Michael Jordan. Q9, who leads all of Major League Baseball in home runs since the start of the 2015 season? Edwin Encarnacion, Giancarlo Stanton, or Nelson Cruz?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Since 2015.
I think it's Nelson Cruz.
Yeah.
Am I right?
You think right.
Yeah.
You think right.
The trick question there was Stanton because of the 59
this
last
massive year.
Yeah.
But Nelson Cruz has been putting it out.
Yeah.
Of the park.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah.
All right, question 10. This is a little bit of a daily double. We're going to the video screen because we have a friend who wanted to ask this question to you. Let's take a look. It's Mr. Met.
Wow.
It's your boy.
Oh, my goodness.
So he heard you knew a thing or two about the Metsies. So he wants you to answer who struck out to complete Johan Santana's no-hitter. Good luck, he says.
I can't forget this one. I was there. I witnessed it. It was the previous World Series MVP, Mr. David Freese.
Nicely done.
Mr. Freese.
That was one of the harder questions that we're going to ask you, and you nailed it. Because
Ice
you were
to
there,
meet you.
that
Come on.
helps.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Q10.
Thank you, Mr. Met, by the way.
Thank you, Mr. Met. Incredible. I'm sorry to know about your rivalry with Syndergaard. I'll have to catch up with that. Q10. Who did Lou Gehrig replace at first base for the Yankees on June 2nd, 1925? A position Gehrig kept for the next 2,130 games. Fred Merkle, Wally Pipp, or Babe Ruth?
Oh, my goodness.
And I wrote this question specifically for you.
Jesus. Oh, Fred Merkle.
Fred Merkle? Well, that's a major boner because it's Merkle's boner, but Wally Pipp was the one that Lou Gehrig replaced. You don't want to be Wally Pipp, Alexa. Someone could replace you on one of these shows one day, and you could be the next Wally Pipp.
Yeah.
You don't want to let that happen.
Like A-Rod, that's what's going to happen for sure. All right, question 11. David Wright last appeared in a game on May 27th of 2016. He went 1 for 4. What was that one hit? A single, a double, or a home run?
It was him getting hit in the head. No. It was a home run.
It was a home run. Very nicely done.
God,
all right, we're almost done here. We're coming to the final.
Mad love for D. Wright.
Final question.
Hope he comes around. Yeah, this is the penultimate question. Q11.
Penultimate.
How many league-wide home runs were hit in the record-breaking 2017 season? 5,610, 6,105, or 6,834? I did not write this one. This is a very hard question.
I think this one's 6,105.
You're going for the middle?
Yeah.
You're not getting fed that? That is the answer.
Yeah.
Wow. 6,105.
Right.
That's incredible. You talk about home runs a lot in the show?
It was the season of the long ball.
It was the season of the long ball.
That's all we talk about. That's
I know.
what we want to talk about. All right, Q12. This is it. The final one. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Barry Bonds holds the all-time career walks record. Who is second? Ricky Henderson, Alex Rodriguez, or Babe Ruth?
Babe Ruth. Ricky.
It's Ricky Henderson. Oh, my goodness.
Ricky.
Fortunately, not able to answer that final one. Let's see if I can.
Are we tied right now?
Let's see if I can best you on Q12.
I think I'm up by 1, Alexa.
Okay.
So you got to get this right to tie the game for that tiebreaker. This is it, Q12. It all boils down to this. Which of these NFL quarterbacks was never drafted by a Major League Baseball team? Brett Favre, Tom Brady, or John Elway?
Never drafted by a baseball team.
That's right.
Tom Brady?
Tom Brady was drafted.
No!
Do we know the name of the team for bonus points?
No.
No, I don't either. John Elway was drafted by the Yankees. That I do know. He played for the Oneonta Yankees. Brett Favre, not drafted.
Never drafted. All right, Danny.
I think I won that one.
I don't know. We have to go to the scorekeeper. Danny, you could fill us in. Who won?
You guys, I'm sweating just listening to what just happened. It was so close. It came down to that last question. Scott, you are our winner today. 8-7.
Nicely done.
Wow.
8-7. Scott,
Excellent.
we have something for
You
you.
do?
Yes. We have a Jacob DeGrom
at
jersey.
that.
Oh my
Pretty good,
goodness.
right? You can rock that all
Oh
season
my
long.
goodness.
You're going to bring the team good luck.
I'm going to have to
Scott.
grow my hair out like Jake
Yeah, you
to
are.
wear that jersey with pride.
Dirty flow.
You
That's
guys
for
are
sure.
impressive. I am blown away. Great
That is
job.
incredible.
Hats off to both of you.
Thanks, Danny.
Doff my
Appreciate
cap.
it. Scott, thanks so much for being here.
This was the best.
This was
Can we do this
awesome.
every Wednesday?
Yes, we can.
Until your fans get sick of me?
Yeah.
Okay.
By the way, if you want to check out HQ Trivia, make sure you download the app. They play the game every 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock Eastern Time hour weekdays, and then it's just
Weekdays.
9 o'clock on the weekends.
Every night at 9 p.m. It's free. Download HQ in your App Store, Google
Go
Play.
check it
We're
out.
everywhere, baby.
Yeah. All right, Scott. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
So much. All right, we've been talking so much about the Hall of Fame, and we want to mention a couple of guys who could be potential locks, may or may not be. Take a listen to some of their thoughts.
To right field. And with one swing of his bat, Chipper Jones has untied the game.
And with that RBI, Chipper Jones ties Mike Schmidt along the third baseman.
Worked hard at what he did, but he also had natural ability that a lot of guys don't have.
Toby, 2 homers tonight, 4 RBIs. He hit it to dead center. And the fans want a curtain call. Toby out to wave.
I mean, I know the home run scenario is not nearly as important, and I don't care about the home runs like I used to. I mean, you hit 612, you should be in the Hall of Fame.
That's a pretty good gun out there. Vladimir Guerrero.
Whether he was in Montreal or at Anaheim, he was the one guy in the lineup that was the most feared bat. Every single year he was on that team.
Unprecedented in Major League Baseball history by the all-time save leader, 500.
Trevor Hoffman for 17 years was closing games. That does not happen.
Edgar Martinez, center field.
Edgar, purely from a DH standpoint, is a Hall of Fame. I mean, those numbers are the numbers.
15 strikeouts for Messina, an LCS record.
This guy pitched in one of the toughest divisions of baseball at one of the toughest times. He should be in there.
Only 13 men in the history of baseball have struck out 300 in a season.
Facing elimination, season on the line, 4-0 with a 1.37 ERA.
That is a staggeringly high percentage for a good number of players, especially with a deep, deep ballot.
Well, Danny, one player who believes that and who was very vocal on who he believes belongs in the Hall was was Steven Souza Jr. about what the writer Mark Tompkins said.
Right.
And I thought this was really interesting because he said his ballot included guys like Gary Sheffield, Fred McGriff, and Mike Mussina, but it did not include Edgar Martinez. And Souza decided to respond on Twitter basically saying, "You are hereby on probation from interviews until my hero, the guy that I grew up watching, Edgar Martinez, is rightfully voted into the Hall. It may seem unprofessional, it may seem unfair, but I say to you, my oh my, yours truly, longtime Mariner fan, Steven Souza Jr., who grew up there in Everett, Washington, and went to school there, and has been watching Edgar Martinez forever and wants him to be in the Hall. Makes sense?
Fair. So my quick 2 cents and my humble opinion is I think it's great that he's speaking up and speaking out and voicing his opinion because we are all entitled and we should say more of these things. But what I wish is that he would have said this a few days, not just a few days before this announcement and what was going to be happening. I wish the whole year he would have been petitioning for Martinez and speaking up and speaking out for him, not just a few days before we find out tonight. It's going to happen tonight. So that's my 2 cents on the situation. I think it's great, but just speak up a little sooner.
I hear you, but I do kind of like him blackballing a writer just because.
Yeah.
That's kind of his 2 cents that he's throwing in. All right, so no matter how the voting unfolds, Martinez can still feel good about himself and his family. He's coming to his aid. His wife tweeted out, regardless of the outcome, we held our own vote. He is husband Hall of Fame, and he is in the dad Hall of Fame, which it goes without saying, right? His family Lovely family he's got there. Hashtag proud of you, says his wife.
That's right. Most important, family over everything. So that's great. They're showing their support, and we're all excited for tonight. It's a big day today.
Big day today. All right, Danny, we'll check back in a little bit.
Okay.
All right, because the Hall of Fame ballot reveal is today at 6 p.m. on MLB.com and MLB Network, we bring in Richard Justice to talk a little bit further about it. Richard, thanks so much for joining us. So we want to start off just asking you who you believe is a lock for Cooperstown tonight.
Well, I think there are three locks. I think Chipper, Jim Thome, and Vlad Guerrero are locks. You know, sometimes it's hard to measure the ballots that have been made public, about 40% of them, versus the ones that are not. They tend to be the older voters who get cranky and believe that if certain thresholds aren't met, Alexa, we have more and better ways to evaluate a player's career, assess a player's career than ever before, and sometimes our votes don't reflect that. But anyway, I think Chipper, Thome, and Vlad, they're just the numbers are overwhelming, and so far the release of the public ballots they won't breathe easy, but they're going to be Hall of Famers.
So they're going to be the closest to unanimous out of everyone that's on the ballot. And it makes sense with the fact that they had these amazing careers. Which players do you believe are going to be sitting anxiously by the phone waiting for that phone call to find out that they are in the Hall of Fame?
Well, Trevor Hoffman missed by 5 votes last year out of 442 cast. He missed by 5 votes. He's the second greatest closer of all time. And you can have a debate about whether he, closers belong in the Hall of Fame or any of that. But Trevor Hoffman should go into the Hall of Fame. He's polling at 78%. I think he's going to get in. I think he was close enough last year that he's going to be over the top this year. The other guy is Edgar Martinez, and I just heard the conversation you guys had. If Edgar doesn't get in, this is his 9th time. He's got one more chance. It would be, I don't know if it'd be a crime, but it would be ridiculous. But through the years, in recent years, there have been 2 guys, Alan Trammell and Edgar Martinez, that every time you saw them, you want to go, hey, I'm really sorry. We're screwing this up big time. His on-base percentage was .421. In other words, they couldn't get him out. And Edgar was one of the guys that people that played against him, pitchers that played against him, said, hey, you guys are messing up on this. This guy was the guy we designed our game plans around. This was the guy we never figured out how to get out. And then I want to see where Mussina and Schilling, how they do. They're creeping towards it. They should be in the Hall of Fame. It shouldn't be close. We're going to have a big class. And then, of course, the annual referendum on Bonds and Clemens. Are they moving up? Are they stalled? They're down to they only have 4 more cracks at it.
Richard, of all the Hall of Fame candidates, who was your favorite to watch and cover throughout your career?
Picking one from this group is tough. Vlad Guerrero was amazing. Alexa, I never saw Roberto Clemente play, but if he was better in right field than Vlad, he was pretty good. And I'm talking the arm, the instincts. Also, I think players would tell you this. Vlad hit the ball harder, more consistently than anybody they had ever seen. And that goes for batting practice. It was a joy to watch the guy hit. Also, there's some off the field stuff that's really important about Vlad. When he came to Texas in 2010, he was no longer a great player. He was at the end of his career. But the Rangers would tell you that his leadership, his example that he set, got them over the top. Ron Washington has said, we had the players, we had the talent. He showed us how to win. And Nolan Ryan once said, he came out of the clubhouse and he said, that guy may be the greatest leader I've ever seen. He goes, we have players from all countries, all colors, all ages in there, and they all follow him. And he goes, and I'm not even sure Vlad speaks a word of English. You never know. Those of us in the media never know because sometimes guys are uncomfortable with their second languages in front of microphones. But he said it's just incredible watching the influence he has on young players, old players. They follow his example. However, we can all debate what a Hall of Famer is, what thresholds you should hit, all of that stuff. Vlad Guerrero checks off every box when you're talking about a Hall of Famer.
Richard, of all the current players who are playing right now, who do you believe is a surefire first ballot Hall of Famer?
Well, Clayton Kershaw doesn't have 10 years in, but he's going to be there. And Mike Trout is going to be there. Those 2 guys are not only going to be Hall of Famers. And let's just say Trout. Let's stick with Trout because he's less likely to be injured. If he keeps going, he's already got numbers better than some players that are in the Hall of Fame, and he's still a young guy. By the time he's done, he's going to end up being in the conversation with pick a name, Roberto Clemente, Mickey Mantle, Willie Mays. He's going to end up being one of the 5 or 10 greatest players of all time. And Kershaw's right there with him. And so when they come to your town or when they're on your television screen, you turn it on because we're going to be the people that can tell our grandkids, hey, I never saw Babe Ruth, but I saw Mike Trout play, and I'm not sure Babe Ruth was a lot better than that guy. That's how good he is. No one should be compared to Babe Ruth, but my point is that Mike Trout is a great, great player.
Richard, I know you and Joe Posnanski have been going back and forth on Twitter, and it's a joy for the rest of us to just be able to watch the two of you debate. But he said yesterday in a hot take that he believes that Alex Rodriguez is going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Do you agree or disagree with that?
I don't know about the first ballot part. Look, let's see where we're at with Bonds and Clemens. They seem to have stalled. Do I think they belong in the Hall of Fame? Slam dunk. Do I think A-Rod belongs in the Hall of Fame? Slam dunk. I mean, he's a 14-time All-Star. If you name the 50 best, 40 best players of all time, maybe even the 20 best players of all time, he's there. I mean, he's 16th in WAR. He's 12th in WAR in position players. His slugging was 27th. He's a great player that played 2 different positions. And, steroids happened in this game. They happened. They were part of it. But just because a guy got ambition and judgment screwed up, I think we still have to honor what the guy was as a player.
I absolutely agree. All right, back to the hot stove and some news that we heard this week. The Brewers have reportedly put an offer on the table for Christian Yelich. I know that the Marlins have been excited to potentially move him, but the Brewers have a little bit of a logjam there in their outfield. Do you see these two teams fitting for a trade?
Well, Milwaukee's a fit with anyone because their farm system is loaded, and that's the temptation, or that's the argument that Brewers general manager David Stearns has all the time. Do we want to make a move for the short term when long term we're in a great spot? Yelich, though, is signed at a team-friendly contract for I think it's 5 more years. He's a Gold Glove, an All-Star. He makes you better. Now, what could happen in terms of the outfield logjam is then you can turn around and trade one of your young guys to get in a package that would bring you Chris Archer, because starting pitching is ultimately what Milwaukee wants to add. But Yelich is that kind of player that if you've got a chance to add him, you add him.
I think if you're the Brewers, though, your first inclination is to add a starting pitcher, and we've
Sure.
heard a lot about their desires to add Yu Darvish to the mix, and JP Morosi was tweeting that it's getting closer and closer to a decision for Yu Darvish. Could potentially happen as early as this week. Where do you believe Yu Darvish ends up?
I think in his heart he wants to go back to the Texas Rangers, but I think the finances are just not there. If the Rangers are being honest with us, when they say, hey, look, we're going to take a step back financially, we've signed we're taking flyers on guys like Doug Fister, Mike Minor, Matt Moore. So I guess it's not going to happen. And then the next layer are the teams that have been the most aggressive, and that would be the Brewers and the Twins. I wouldn't count out the Mariners in this. But I think if I had a nickel to bet on it, it'd be one of those 3. Maybe with Milwaukee, which is so aggressive and feels it's so close, to catching the Cubs and the Cardinals, that it would be Milwaukee.
All right, sounds good. Richard, enjoy the Hall of Fame announcement tonight, which is going to take place at 6 p.m. on MLB.com and MLB Network, and we'll discuss later on in the week. Appreciate it, Richard. Thank you.
Thank you, Alexa.
All right, Danny, back with our question of the day. We're asking people who they would put in their online profile dating picture, what player or mascot they'd choose.
That's right. If you are just tuning in, Justin Turner appeared in somebody's social dating profile, and someone shouted it out on Twitter because it was so cool, and Justin Turner responded and wants a wedding invite. So we wanted to know from you guys, if you could put a player in your online dating profile, who would you choose? Who's going to get you that coveted first date? So I'm going to read one answer, and then we're going to reel the rest at the end of the show. So chime in if you haven't yet. Mike said Jose Altuve because we are the same height. I think that would play in your favor, my friend. He's not taller than you, so it doesn't make you look bad, and he's a really cool guy, and oh, by the way, won a World Series and all of that stuff. So
all right, sounds good. Any others as we're starting to wrap up the show here?
Yes, Brandon said Javier Baez, which is a great choice. I believe that him and his wife are expecting. They just announced on Twitter.
They did.
Yes, and obviously he is an incredible player and personality for the Cubs, so he would be a great choice as well.
All right. Our final story, We may be a little hard on Mark Topkin earlier for his omission of Edgar Martinez on the ballot, but he totally redeemed himself with this awesome video a little bit earlier today, Danny.
Yeah, absolutely. So 20 years, 20 days, not 20 years until pitchers and catchers report.
It
20
feels
days.
like it's 20 years.
That's right.
This off-season strug so long.
It's 20 days. The Rays are packing up for spring training, and they got a little help from Raymond, their mascot, chipping in here, and everyone's doing their part for spring training and getting ready.
I'm excited.
Are you ready?
I can't be more ready for baseball to start. I really can't.
At least you gave us that video, right?
Yeah, and the fact that everyone's chipping in, even Raymond the mascot.
Even Raymond, everyone's going in.
All right, Danny, thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
How are you feeling, by the way? Are you sweating? I'm still sweating.
No, I'm okay. I could have done better in the trivia for sure.
You did a great job.
There are a couple that I'm kind of kicking myself about, but you know, when you only have a couple seconds to think, it's just the first thing that comes to your mind. And to me, the first thing that always comes to my mind is like ice cream. So I have to like push that out of my mind, and then like baseball. Okay, right, all right.
No, you did a great job. 1225 Live is very proud of you.
Thank you, Danny. I appreciate it, and thank you for helping us monitor that game and
everyone chiming in. We had so many people trying to answer the questions as well. So thank you guys for hanging out with us.
Thanks
today.
for playing along, and Scott will be back. That's for sure. He does an excellent job. You can tell that he's a game show host,
seasoned vet.
That's right. All right, appreciate it, Danny. See you tomorrow.
Okay.
And thank you for watching us. Make sure to stay tuned here to MLB.com as well as MLB Network. Coverage is going to start around 3 o'clock, but the official announcement for who makes it in this class, this Hall of Fame class, is going to take place at 6 p.m. So make sure you are tuned in on your phone, on your laptop, on your TV for all of that. We're going to discuss it all tomorrow right here on 1225 Live. Thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you tomorrow. Take care, everyone.